여러분 안녕하십니까? 저는 오늘 UPS 마켄 런천 세미나 행사의 사회를 맡게 된 마켄 코리아 영업이사 박정석입니다. 오늘 이런 뜻깊은 행사에서 여러분을 뵙게 되어서 너무 반갑습니다.
Also, I'm very honored to meet you all. Despite the hot weather and busy schedule, thank you very much for joining us today. For today's luncheon seminar, so this is about the bio and how cold chain storage system and logistics has evolved in this time of COVID-19. So we would like to share with you some difficulties and also the that we faced and how we overcame. And also we'll talk about the healthcare industry, which is now emerging and growing its importance, and what kind of cold chain logistics trend will evolve with the development of healthcare industry. And also for today's luncheon seminar, as you can, while you're having lunch, we actually prepared a small lunch for you, and we will have the two presentations, and then we are going to throw a simple quiz. You know the Kahoot in the Zoom program? So using Kahoot solution, we will have 10 quiz so that you can have better understanding on recent trends in cold chain. And then we would like to select 10 people who answer the quizzes most, and we'll give them small gifts and presents. Now I'd like to introduce to you our speakers. So we have two speakers. The first speaker is Gladys Cho from UPS Healthcare. She's already on stage. Ms. Gladys Cho is the APAC Director of Sales of UPS Healthcare with more than 20 years of sales profession and experience in supply chain logistics with UPS company. She's very passionate in driving healthcare supply chain technologies, innovation, and services so as to serve the need of patients at the end of supply chain. And today, she will be talking about how the pandemic accelerates the evolution of cold chain logistics. So please welcome her with a big hand.
Good afternoon, everyone. Can you give me a wave? Hello. Hope everyone had a great morning so far and enjoy your lunch. I'm going to spend the next 10 minutes with you. So first of all, let me just do a quick introduction of myself. I'm Gladys from UPS Healthcare, Asia Pacific, all the way from Singapore to Korea. My pleasure to be here meeting all of you in person. And thanks for coming here. So first of all, I would like to share, just not forgetting what the host has mentioned. Please stay with us throughout the next presentation of myself and Nina, because we'll be doing a Kahoot later and there will be exclusive prizes given to the winners. So please do stay with us. Okay, first of all, let me just play a UPS Healthcare video for the next 1.5 minutes. Thank you.
Some say that healthcare is broken. They see only problems. But we believe the future is bright because it's being built right now. Medicine is becoming personalized. Care is moving to the home, and the once impossible is becoming real. We know delivering healthcare's future won't be easy. Supply chain disruptions, shortages, and emergencies can stand in the way, while needing to handle complex products, from temperature-sensitive biologics and time-sensitive lab specimens to customized gene therapies and sophisticated surgical kits. It's going to take technology, scale, and hard work. It's going to take people who really know their stuff, people who care about every logistics detail, and about your patient. It's going to take UPS Healthcare. We've taken the best of our worldwide network and made it better, smarter, investing and innovating, expanding our global footprint of licensed facilities, helping labs receive specimens faster, delivering materials to operating theaters, and supporting complex clinical trials. For our specially trained logistics team, quality is non-negotiable. We're aligned to be more responsive and more agile to help you put your patient first. The future of healthcare is bright. Our UPS healthcare team is ready to deliver it with you.
Okay, once and again, the topic that I'll be covering today will be how the pandemic accelerated the evolution of cold chain logistics. So without further ado, let me just start my first slide here. So looking back at the COVID experience, we have definitely learned a lot. It has been so long since I go into an event like this, seeing such a grand event, looking at so many people coming into the same event, networking with our friends in the industry. So great to see all of you again. So 2 years now, we are fighting to return to COVID, to live with COVID. And also one key valuable lesson that we have learned from COVID is our ability to be able to accelerate the evolution of cold chain. And UPS joined the coronavirus task force and delivered millions of vaccines and medical devices globally. We have risen to the challenge and accelerated the evolution of healthcare. And definitely, we have become more resilient, and now we all realize the importance of cold chain logistics. So let's look at the global pharmaceutical revenue here. In the pharma space, the needs has been shifted to more complex treatment regime, such as the needs in cell and gene therapy, drug, rare disease, and respiratory conditions. So we will need temperature control supply chain and logistic management to be in place to manage the lifespan of it. The demand of biological industry, which is 35 billion, which will grow by 35% 35% by 2026, is explain why we will need the dedicated services and capabilities to serve the required exponential growth. So moving on. Okay, it didn't work. Sorry, it didn't work. Okay, now on my next slide, the global biopharma industry. So remember the keyword here, 35 billion. Why do we need dedicated healthcare supply chain and logistic service provider to handle such treatment? As you can see, the global biopharma industry loses 35 billion per year due to failures in the temperature control logistic. But the biggest consequence and the impact here is human life, which can happen to anyone close to us, happen to ourselves, happen to family, friends, and people out there. Okay, and so imagine what if we do not have a robust cold chain logistic to manage the temperature control shipments, which happen to be our medicine. So now let's move on to drivers of outsourcing. In the healthcare industry, our #1 goal and core business is to save life. Do we have the right knowledge and expertise to offer what the industry healthcare needs? Let's first start off with the consideration and criteria you should put in place before engaging a 3PL or a 4PL. What should you keep in mind are as follows. The desire to focus on core business, the increased complexity, the increased emphasis on optimization, the increased pressure to drive down costs, and definitely making way for warehouse space for manufacturing activities. So one thing to note here, outsourcing will not slow down your company growth. It will only increase revenue and etc. Now on my next slide, what can UPS offer you? UPS Healthcare offer you? UPS Healthcare has many cold chain capabilities to suit all the different needs of the pharmaceutical industry, giving you the assurance that the product will reach the destination in a timely manner. So what does UPS Healthcare is able to offer? As you can see, the suite of services that we have from UPS Healthcare here, all the way from various GMP storage locations in Asia Pacific. We have Singapore, China, Australia, all the way to having an end-to-end service for small package services, ocean freight, air freight, and also the local transportation that we are able to offer to the market. And UPS Premium is something that UPS is very excited to launch in 2 months' time. So what does Premium provide our customer? There are a few things here, 3 things. #1, end-to-end visibility. We have the sensor technology control. And #2, 24/7 live agent. #3, as well as the prioritization uplift. And #4, as well as the temperature excursion monitoring. So besides that, we also have the cold chain packaging, re-icing capability, cold chain ground handling, time and temperature visibility platform, and the cold chain managed transportation. So what do we do for our customers here today? Let me just click everything, hold on. So let's look at a few examples here. We combine healthcare logistic expertise with a global air freight, as I mentioned, air freight, ocean freight, small parcel, forwarding network to offer end-to-end management of the cold chain shipping needs. And premium, again, 24/7, full end-to-end visibility, prioritization handling. With 20 years of experience, healthcare UPS offers the right cold chain storage infrastructure to support your needs. So the cold chain inventory covers all the way from ambience 2 to 5, 15 to 25, 20 to 80, or even ultra low freezer to suit your needs. And our combination of skill, experience, and QA helps your goods to reach safely and be ready to ship to your end destination, desired destination. So our ISO certified warehouse provide validation, temperature mapping, administer with real-time physical and digital alerts to minimize excursion risk. I'm at my last 3 slides here. Now let's look at some examples of how do we further address the challenges for our client. What are the benefits of supply chain logistic outsourcing here? So two key things that you remember on the growth as well as the reduction. You can see the arrow up and arrow down. So what does outsourcing do for you? Outsourcing will give you a faster growth, improve efficiency of your organization, quality, and increase customer experience, and reduce the risk, logistic costs, inventory costs, and the logistic fixed asset reduction. Moving on to my last second slide here, outsourcing distribution globally. So early on, I mentioned that we also provide a GMP certified warehousing in Asia Pacific, which are in Singapore, China, and Australia. We also have Marken with a depot in Korea. So that will actually connect you to all your customers. And besides what we have in Asia, we also have in USA, in other parts of the region, in Europe as well. So on my last slide here, we have a strong subsidiary here, Marken, who is also showcasing with us this week, that covers our services from all the way from clinical trial to commercial, and you will be looking at one UPS healthcare. So what does Marken do for you? Very quickly, and anyway, Nina will share later more in detail, but very quickly, Marken manage the temperature-sensitive package delivery, the depot service that I talked about in Korea. And of course, UPS that I want to repeat again, we have the air freight, ocean freight, small parcel services, warehousing, local transportation. And not forgetting Premier, again, the key things, visibility, 24/7, prioritization uplift, managing of temperature excursion. So together, we create and manage a resilient healthcare logistics system that brings global healthcare solutions to patients with speed, visibility, and unmatched quality system. I say I'm at my last slide, but I just want to quickly run through with you all what have I covered. I've covered why do we need to outsource. I've covered how the pandemic make us accelerate cold chain logistics faster. And most importantly, what does UPS Healthcare is able to offer you on the table. And one last thing, for the benefit of the Kahoot later, just want to recap a few things here. Pharma space shifted to more complex treatment regime, number one. Number two, pharma industry lost 35 billion a year due to failures in temperature-controlled logistics. Number three, outsourcing will not slow down your company growth. And number four, UPS serves 220 countries globally. So that is for the Kahoot later. Hope you can join us later and have fun. So with that, I will end my presentation. And please do visit us at our booth at E20. Thanks, everyone. I don't know how you guys do it. You guys were able to eat and then watch at the same time. Thanks for all your attention. Hope to see you around. And come speak to us. Thank you all.
Thanks so much, Gladys. 여러분 마지막에 들으셨겠지만
So,
문제의
as you heard at the end, in fact, she actually gave us some hint for quiz. So, when we answer the quiz, please use the trick that she gave to us. The next presenter, moving on, is the Lina Bass, and she is the Vice President of Marken. And she's also global GNP
총괄하고
storage
있습니다.
service.
이와 더불어 요즘 이제
And
국내에서도 세포 치료제, 유전자 치료제
Also, the cell therapeutics and gene therapies are now booming in Korea nowadays. So, for cell therapeutics and the gene therapies, she also has some expertise in specialized logistics for these types of products. And also for clinical trials, she is also specialized in the delivery solutions down to patient home for the IMP and the patient samples taken back to the hospital, so home health care. Lina Bass, please.
So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nina. I represent Mark in a UPS company where we specialize in cold chain logistics and storage for the life science and healthcare industry. I'm standing in for Serene Ong today, who unfortunately is unable to join us, and wanted to just take a moment to wish Serene good health and a speedy recovery. So I've inherited her slides, and I hope you'll bear with me. She's been wonderful, even though she's unwell. She's prepared me well this morning. So in the next 10 minutes, I'll share with you 3 trends happening within the healthcare and clinical logistics industry in particular. So the first is it's focusing on digital health services and decentralized trials, where materials are sent to patients' homes in order to conduct trials or to enable patients to have access to their medication. The second is really a direction towards personalized medicine, such as cell and gene therapy, when it comes the complication of ensuring the supply chain is able to deliver these sensitive materials to every single patient who desperately needs it. And the third, a trend that is happening in the use of blockchain and AI. You know, we've heard an awful lot from the other speakers this morning, and I've certainly enjoyed listening to them today. How this impacts clinical trials and logistics, and how that completely changes the way in which we interact with each other. So to enable the success of these trends, technology plays a big role, and there's no understanding of what it will happen and when it will become mainstream. So just a little quick and when it will start with telehealth. So in an industry where COVID and trending to move personalized healthcare, patient trends and patient-centric decentralized trials are here to stay. So according to the data collected by the Centers for Disease Control through 4 of the largest telehealth providers in the US, there was a 154% increase in telehealth visits in March 2020 compared to the same period a year prior. Since the early days of the pandemic, the figures took a slight dip in the year, but later telehealth usage in February 2021 remains 38% higher than it was previously. A report by the management consulting firm McKinsey & Company revealed that since the start of the pandemic, 57% of healthcare providers have viewed telehealth more favorably since the COVID-19 compared to the pre-pandemic. They also found that 76% of consumers are now interested in using telehealth. This is compared to only 11% engaging in such services back in 2019. So seeing that this figure has stabilized, it suggests that the increased use of technology in healthcare is absolutely here to stay. So digital healthcare encompasses a range of technologies ranging from mobile health apps to electronic health records and even artificial intelligence for more personalized treatment. The broad scope of opportunities is in the landscape itself. It's no wonder the investment in digital healthcare companies has doubled in 2020 compared to 2019. Some have even estimated that there will be about 250 billion of US healthcare spending could eventually become more moved to virtual forms of care. We're seeing that global phenomenon in countries all over the world, but we're also seeing a similar transition to the increased use of technology in patient care. As there's a shift in big clinical trials as pharma sponsors continue to seek ways to make clinical trials faster and to improve the experience for patients and physicians, the healthcare system resources that we have become consumed by the COVID-19 related care, and travel became limited by physical distancing. Patients' access to trial sites was reduced by 80%. In the face of such disruption, sponsors mobilized rapidly to preserve the continuity of care and data integrity, adopting remote consent and patient monitoring, video conferences, and at-home visits. That shift in clinical trials activities closer to patients has enabled a constellation of evolving technologies and services. Tools such as electronic consent, remote patient monitoring, etc., allows investigators to maintain links to those trial participants without in-person visits. Mobile and home healthcare, as well as alternative care locations, enables more procedures to occur away from research sites. Those diverse options allow for a broad spectrum of decentralized and hybrid clinical trial designs. In the most complete articulation, a trial can be virtual and with enrollment and assessments taking place in a patient home and enabling self-administration of medication. That model is virtually migrating from smaller early phase to post-approval studies towards larger pivotal trials. So today we have a record number of trials expected to utilize centralized services in 2020, approximately 1,300, and they're definitely here to stay beyond the pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic has catalyzed the adoption of decentralized trials and really highlights the critical benefits to improve patient and physician experience. So one of the things we want to do is really talk about that link between commercial to clinical supply commercial supply chain. So moving on to the next trend is to understand a little bit about personalized medicine and how it affects the supply chain. So access to patient-specific data and that in-depth knowledge of the patient's history, as well as customizing modifications to treatments based on predictive models. So precision measures, and what is it? It's really that treatment of personalization for a patient based on their genetic and molecular profile, and it's steadily grown popular within the medicinal community. The fact that clinical trials for precision medicines have often trouble recruiting, and primary care physicians also struggle with gaining quick, easy access to the data and listing to which their trials for their patients are eligible. So decentralized trials can help with both of these challenges. Those tech-enabled trials allowing investigators to search for patients over a larger geographic area and using technologies to share data and information about treatment securely. The challenge is how to create a supply chain to support that scale up, commercialize and standardize when personalized medicine is so unique to each and every patient. So we just have a quick 2-minute video here. I think I just need a hand to get this started, if that's all right.
Today, cell and gene therapies are transforming the fight against cancer and genetic disorders. These therapies require special regulatory attention, strict chain of identity, and highly secure supply chains from start to finish. Two of the most common types of therapies are autologous and allogeneic. With autologous therapies, a patient visits a clinical site to have their blood and biological material collected. To prepare the site, Marken delivers apheresis collection kits. Through apheresis, the patient's blood is then separated to obtain individual components. Marken ships the time and temperature-sensitive biological materials to manufacturing sites. Our teams also assist with the delivery of viral vectors to the site. The sites then engineer and modify the cells, augmenting and adapting them for the patient's specific needs. The modified cells are then transferred to the patient, with Marken ensuring the right therapy is always returned to the right patient. Where allogeneic differs is modified cells from a healthy donor may be first stored in a trusted temperature-controlled facility, such as Marken's global GMP network. At any point when needed, Marken can deliver the critical therapy to patients. While both types of therapies have similar elements, allogeneic therapies are developed at a larger scale to treat multiple patients. Overall, ensuring chain of identity and visibility of shipments from patient to manufacturing site to point of care is critical. Our range of qualified thermo-regulated packaging solutions, including cryoshippers, protect clinical materials whether in transit or in storage. We offer one of the largest global networks of liquid nitrogen service stations in the industry to support these therapies. We understand that these irreplaceable therapies require highly specialized supply chain services to ensure safe transfer to the patient. That's why we're the market leader. Is your supply chain ready for the future of healthcare?
So the future of healthcare is already here, with decentralized trials and cell and gene therapies. Another trend that will hit us is the metaverse, which will be an extension of the virtual reality, augmented reality, and mixed reality technologies that we use today to provide a more immersive, real experience. So imagine metaverse as a parallel digital universe where your digital avatar can inhabit the metaverse. Instead of watching or reading about something over the internet, you can really experience it. You can interact with other people, go shopping, go to work, or be part of a clinical trial. So the metaverse would be the second best thing to teleportation device, and teleportation around metaverse will be like clicking a link. And while the idea of a doctor performing virtual surgery on a patient might sound far-fetched, it might be a reality sooner than we think.
Connection is a spark that gives our lives meaning. It drives us to seek out others who feel the same way.
Okay, why don't you input the data and we'll take a look together. Hey Mari, what you got for me?
To find those who share our views, yet offer different perspectives.
Look over here.
Challenge us with new ways of seeing.
But I think we should...
Deepen our understanding. And enrich our lives.
最后一笔的时候，往前。
Great things happen when we commit to something bigger than ourselves.
Let's take a closer look at it.
Place this here. Let's see how we go from there, okay?
This sense of collaboration and the feelings of connection it brings excites us.
Hey, just in time. I'm gonna move it slightly, okay?
It's yours, take it.
We have 2 planes right now on the same trajectory.
As we put people first, technology fades into the background and feels like anything but.
Aisha, what do you think?
I think if we had 330, maintaining 2800, we'll be clear for approach.
Excellent.
This changes the way we see the world, and in turn, changes the world we see.
These numbers are looking great, actually.
There's promise in the possibilities, and what we see and create next will stretch the imagination.
Good morning, Sarah.
Morning.
Slowly coming towards the thumb.
A world without boundaries.
Good job. A lot better than yesterday.
Yeah.
Excellent. Slowly bring the
A
arm
world
down.
where technology enhances, not limits, humanity. With people front, center, and in the spotlight. The future is here. And here can be anywhere. Introducing Microsoft Mesh.
So I think it's not wrong to assume that one day virtual clinical trials will happen within a metaverse, provide a real lifelike interaction between doctors, nurses, and patients, but also blockchain technology will add another layer of security to the trial data, making it difficult to tamper and thus improving the data credibility. For patients, it also means their digital avatar can carry their medical data and they can more easily share them to their physician in the healthcare metaverse. The metaverse is no longer fancy science fiction, but rather the next version of the internet itself. And blockchain allows us to handle diverse data sources from patients, clinicians, and such as wearables and other sources. It can be used to securely integrate data from many places in many shapes and sizes, and could play a significant role in clinical trial data integration and interoperability. The blockchain makes it easier to find and engage potential clinical trial candidates who better represent specific patient populations. And finally, as clinical trials increasingly use AI, blockchain could give us as much needed accountability and traceability for models and predictions. So with all the benefits we have just discussed, and virtual reality and metaverse is expected to grow significantly in the years to come, this will dramatically change the way we do things today. As a result, the supply chain of tomorrow would be increasingly customer-centric, demand-driven, and more automated. And I'm running out of time, so I'd like to leave you with a last video, courtesy of KPMG, who tells us exactly what to expect in the future of supply chain logistics. With this, I thank you for your time and look forward to speaking and answering questions after this short clip.
땡큐 니나. 예, 잠시 광고 말씀드리면 니나는 오늘 4시 40분부터
Well,
이 자리에서
if I may
또 하나의 톡을
give you,
준비했습니다.
Nina is going to give us another talk at 4:10 this afternoon here at this venue. So she's going to talk about the distribution channel and the cold chain. So she's going to be back with that. So if you're interested, you can come back then.
자, 지금부터
Now,
카호ot 퀴즈를 하겠는데요.
From now on, we're going to have the Kahoot quiz. After the quiz is finished, when you go out, we have dessert, which is ice cream. So please take your ice cream cone while you are exiting the hall. So now we are going to start our Kahoot quiz. So this is how you play this game. I'll show you the QR code. Please take the picture of this QR code and you can be linked to that site. That is the site of Kahoot for the questions of the presentation that you heard today. So please enter the room and please write down your email address. And after that, moving on to the next page, you are to print out your nickname. So your nickname will be registered on the Kahoot page that we will see your names on the screen here. So for example, we have one person already in. So as you are registering yourselves, you're going to have your names seen here. So we have 5 people. in this game. Uju Lee is here. So we have many people who are just playing this game. Jongju and Jane, they're all entering now. So we keep having more guests and more players, and most of you are now entering the hall. Once almost all the people are here, we will start our quiz. Quiz is provided in English, so mostly it's about the logistics, and they can be simple questions about the knowledge about that. So the time to show the question each will not be that long. You know how Zoom game is about, so I know you're familiar with that. So we have 43 people registered. We will wait until 50 or 60 are in the game together. Then we will start our game. 45. Latte is here. So very interesting nicknames are welcome. So anything you can choose as your nickname. So please solve the 10 questions. At the end of the session, you know your ranking, how high you are in terms of the number of answers you got. Top 10 people will be selected, and we will invite you to our booth. Our booth is at E20, and pick up your gifts. 49. 50. Are we waiting more people to come in, or can we start?
정확하게 50분만 지금 되셨나요?
Exactly 50.
계속 더 들어오고 계십니다.
Oh yeah, we keep having more people.
1분만 더
I can wait one more
1분.
minute.
한 분은 나가셨어요.
Oh, one person has left already.
예, 다시 56.
Or is back? Is he back?
56분.
56. Back to 56.
30초.
30 seconds to go.
등록해 주시면은
Please finish your registration in 30 seconds.
혹시 어려움 겪고 계신 분
Do you have any
있으시면 손
technical
들어주십시오.
problems?
저희
Please raise your hand so that we can help you
도와드리겠습니다.
with our staff.
네. 자, 그러면
Now we are
지금
almost ready.
53분이신데
We have
자,
53 people.
시작해보겠습니다.
So now let's start.
자, 제니스, please
Janice.
start the count quiz.
제니스가 카우트 퀴즈를 시작해 주세요.
자, 시작입니다.
Now start.
자, 참 거짓 맞춰 주시는 겁니다.
True or false?
상당히 빠르게 지금 눌러 주시는데요.
It's quite fast. You're answering it very quickly.
문제 푸는 남은 시간.
Number on the left corner is the time left, and the number on the right is the number of answers we get.
7분이 틀리신 것 같습니다.
7 people are wrong.
이한이라는 분이
Sop and Ian is the winner for now,
자,
and Sop is
두
second.
번째 문제 드리겠습니다.
Next quiz.
자, 아웃소싱을 하면서 어떤 것이 가장 어드밴티지 있을지.
What is the
그거와
best advantage of doing outsourcing?
답을 고르시면 될 것
And true or false, or you can select one of these possible answers.
네, 너무 많은 분들이 참 잘 알고 계시는데.
Too many people are right.
네, 이한 분이 지금 1위를
Ian still
계속 사수하고
number
계십니다.
one.
자, 두 번째 문제 드리겠습니다. 자, 요건
Next
아까
question.
힌트가 나왔었습니다.
You got the hint already.
글래디스가 힌트를
Gladys
줬었어요.
Cho gave you the hint.
자, 함정도 있어요.
There's a-
밀리언인지 빌리언. 네? 문제가 안 나와요?
Also,
trick for you because the unit is this million or billion. The internet speed is not right for you. Some people cannot. Some people have difficulties. So here on the screen, this is LAN, but you are all using Wi-Fi system. So Janice,
Can you check the wireless or
무선 와이파이를 좀 체크해 주시겠습니까?
지금도 연결 안 되시나요?
Still not connected.
이번에는 많은 분들이 해주셨네요.
You got it all right, most of you.
네, 이우주님이 지금
Uju Lee
1위로
is now the winner.
이한님은
Up until now, Ian has gone down to the second place. Out of 10 questions, we are now on the fifth one.
전 세계 200국 이상이 있죠?
We have more than 200 countries in the world, right?
네, 고맙습니다. 오, 이한님
Ian is back in the first place.
돌아오셨습니다.
As I earlier mentioned, this is about our service for the market. Yes, most of you got right. Thank you for listening me out. Still, Ian keeps running in the first place, and Amy is in the link again, and also she is in the list of top 5. Next question.
간단하죠? 쉬운 문제였습니다.
It was a very simple question.
대부분 다 맞춰주셨고요.
So glad to have you all got right. And still, Ian is number 1, ranking number 1. There's no change in the order of the list here.
여덟 번째 문제입니다.
Question number 8.
요즘에 많이 유행하고 있는 여기저기서 많이 이야기를 하고 있죠.
This is it nowadays, as you know, so you may have heard about it here and there.
너무나도 다 여기 인텔리들만 계신 것 같아요.
We all got intelligent people here. This was a very difficult question. You seem to be
지금 순위가 바뀌었습니다.
comfortable with that. Now we have a change of order here. Still, Ian is number 1, ranking the first place.
아홉 번째 문제.
Now, question number 9.
네, 현재 트렌드를 보여드리는 문제고요.
The question was about asking you what kind of trend it is in the market. So except for Ian in the first place, all others are just changing their order and ranking. Now the last question.
유튜브에 보시면 아실 것 같습니다.
You can refer to YouTube in order to get this answer.
맞습니다.
Well, thank you very much. All of you got right.
제가 다행히 그 지난 6월에 저희 오프닝
Well, in
세레머니를
June, we
제가
had the opening
참여했고요.
ceremony. I was the
보신
presider.
분은 다시 한번
Luckily,
유튜브에서
so if you
다시 한번
haven't
보시기
watched it, please
자, 1위는
visit the website and YouTube to see that again. Who is the winner?
자, 1위 이한님,
Ian is
2위
the winner.
이우주님,
The second place runner is Uju Lee. The third place winner is Amy. So we have 10 people actually. So top 10 players will know who you are in terms of the ranking. Then please identify yourself as the top 10 and then come to our booth to pick up the free gift. In your phone, you will see your ranking. If you are our top 10, please hold your hand up. Less than 10 now. I see less than 10 hands.
네네. 아무튼 저희
All right.
E20번 부스로 오셔서
So please come to
저희랑
E20
추가적인
booth.
질문도 해주시고요.
And you can
오늘
ask more
이전에는
questions if you
시간이 좀
want
부족해서
to.
없었는데
And we didn't have
아직
enough
시간은
time to
10분
entertain your
남아있거든요.
questions. We still have a
그래서
10-minute break to
저희
go.
연자들하고
So we will
자유롭게
also have
캐주얼하게 추가적인 질문 있으시면은
the
저희
casual meeting
스피커분들
time
여기
with our
계시니까
speakers. We have 2
이쪽으로
speakers
오셔서
available in front
캐주얼하게
of the hall. So
Q&A
please
시간
come
가지시면 될
to
것 같고요.
these two
나가시면서
presenters
저희
if you have any
후식으로 준비한
questions.
아이스크림 잊지 마시고
Also, as I said,
시원하게
don't forget to
드십시오.
pick up your ice cream
이상 저희
when exiting the
런천
hall.
세미나를 여기서
So this has
마치겠습니다.
been the Luncheon
고맙습니다.
Seminar. Thank you very much for your ardent participation. Thank you.